This, with the election of Angus Taylor as the new leader of the Liberal Party, is the best thing that has happened to the Liberal Party since September 13th, the day before Malcolm Turnbull destroyed the Liberal Party by tearing down Tony Abbott. Now, let's just go back through the spill, or rather through the vote. You mentioned the vote. James mentioned immigration. Now, this, to me, was the key moment in what I thought was a very, very good speech that Angus Taylor made. So just have a listen to... This was the clincher to me. This was the moment he set the Liberal Party back towards being relevant in this country. Have a listen.
An immigration policy that puts the interests of Australians first and puts Australian values at the centre of that policy. If someone doesn't subscribe to our core beliefs, the door must be shut. If someone was to import the hatred and violence of another place to Australia, the door must be shut.
The door must be shut. Now, this builds on John Howard's original "we will choose who comes to our country and the circumstances in which we come," and this now lays a marker in the sand. James is 100% correct. It depends what policy they come in. It's no good just mouthing those words. You've got to back it up with a firm policy. That policy must include vetting out radical Islam from any single person who comes into this country ever again. That means looking at the Gazans. That means looking at people from the Middle East. That means looking at people from North Africa one by one and not just waving them through like Tony Burke does, but having a sound policy which ensures none of these characters ever set foot on this land again. And those that are here are booted out. That has to be the policy, and if they can deliver that, they are a very good shot at winning the next election.
Well, Rowan, you know, that's... everything you say is correct, but he actually has to go further, because when he talks there about the door will be shut to you, the presumption is that the door is open to everybody else. And actually what has to happen is that there needs to be a very big pause hit on migration numbers in general. So this means he's going to have to do some things that are really politically controversial. He's going to have to take on groups like Universities Australia, which has a huge interest in seeing foreign students come in, so that big sandstone universities, you know, anybody who's got kids or grandkids at university, they know that half the kids there are not Australian, and in fact, many of them have English language difficulties, and it's totally commoditized education. Number two,
and
taking on...
they're not here to study, they're here for a path
for permanent
to residency.
But beyond that, too, taking on, you know, the business councils and all of those lobbies that want a big immigration policy because it's for the property developers who want to just build more and more high-rise apartments on top of our suburbs. Taking on these sorts of groups is going to be really, really key. And the third thing he's going to have to do is take on the multicultural lobby, because it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all to be talking about Australian values when at the same time the federal government subsidizes migrant community groups to preserve a migrant way of life and live in migrant enclaves, when in fact what we want to be talking about is assimilation. And after World War II, we brought in millions of people from all over Europe and the world, and, you know, we said, you come here and you become Australian, and they wanted to become Australian. They wanted to become Australian. And now it's like, come here, do your thing, don't, you know, do a few nasty things, but otherwise go on living your ethnic identity first rather than as Australian.
Well, worse than that, they come here and they're immediately met with this barrage from the media, from the activist, celebrity class. Almost all the messaging within the culture is that this is not a legitimate country, we're on stolen land, we've got a shameful history, we have to apologise frequently, we have to make amends. So when you come to a new country and this is what the people within that country are telling you, then you can't really be surprised that they're not eager to assimilate, that they don't have great respect or gratitude for the new country they're in. A lot of that is, I think, very much self-inflicted by this progressive class who have dominated the agenda, and they've dominated the agenda even when the coalition has been in power. So if we're going to get a coalition that's fair dinkum, if they are in power, they can't waste power, because that's what we've seen